Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator. It is 16 songs, 52 minutes long. That's a lot of music. There's a lot in this album. I don't even know how to start this damn thing. So, one thing, all the songs are pretty short, minus one in the middle. Sweet Stash. I thought you.
I'd say the songs are somewhat short, but generally medium, because you have a lot like 2.5, 3 minute songs, 3.5, 4 minute songs, and you have two really long songs. You have a two-part song,
super long tracks.
What's track 10, and then you have Willishere at the end, which is this whole different sort of like grand Tyler the Creator ballad thing. It is definitely a capital A album, that's for sure.
Yes. So we really like Igor. I mean, I really enjoyed Igor a lot. I thought it was a good pivot for Tyler the Creator, especially with some of his previous works and stuff that I didn't necessarily enjoy. Some of his antics and stuff can get annoying, but nothing was too crazy with him compared to a plethora of other artists.
Yeah, Tyler the Creator started out as like a major like shock jock artist, and then really started to show that he had lyrical talent and prowess later on through his career. Had it in early spots early on, but then was starting to do it less with kind of like the shock jock value with it, and really showed he could have a hit with Igor, which was just like a smash success.
Exactly. Yeah. So first track, it's pretty short, it's only a minute and a half. It's like kind of sets up the album. It's Tyler the Creator, and you have DJ Drama on there as well. By the way, all of the features, everybody who contributed to the album, anybody who had had vocals on it, was fan-fucking-tastic on this album. Just random side note. But anyways.
Including artists who... Also just say, like, including artists you wouldn't normally like, but more on that later.
Exactly. More on that later. But anyways, Corso, second track, kind of like gets you into the theme, a little bit more of the theme as well. Really like the beats, really like the production in this. It just feels like a giant, almost like a celebration in a sense of like how the production feels. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just like you want to get up and move, you want to bop a little bit. Obviously, some of the lyrics are really, really deep and could be hard at points and everything, naturally, as Tyler the Creator does. But within the production of it, you just want to move, you want to bop to it, which is interesting on that, because sometimes when you can get a lot of hard rap or trap and stuff, sometimes you can listen to it and it would be a lot, and it doesn't necessarily make you want to dance. You just want to sit there and just enjoy it. But I thought that was an interesting spin on it. After Corso, you have Lemonhead with 42 Doug. Fun track. It's 42 Doug, I don't really know much about him, but everything on that track, it's decent. You have, I don't even know, what's your name, I assume.
Yeah.
That's how you say that. With Young Boy Never Broke Again, which is somebody who I don't normally like, I thought was actually pretty good in this track. We've had, if you released the album last year, that I think you enjoyed that, right? His album that came out last year?
Yeah. It was all right.
I thought it was okay, but I thought he was a really overrated artist. But hearing him as a feature, I actually really liked him in this track. Really liked the old school hip hop vibes on it. It's a funny track and stuff when you get to it. What do you think for the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning part of the album, the sort of like warmness, get down you're describing to me was sort of a callback to both like a Tyler the Creator, very Tyler the Creator spin on boom bap, early era hip hop to me. Like throughout this entire album, a lot of it even seems like a callback, especially Safari at the very end, not to like skip to the very end, but it seems like a callback to like MF Doom's production even. And like we've talked very early on, especially in the MF Doom bonus episode that we did earlier this year about Tyler the Creator's
huge Doom fan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The influence of Tyler the Creator, that entire Odd Future collective.
The cutest video ever is him in Earl sweatshirt going like fangirling over meeting Doom and being at this concert and everything, like maybe about 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
It's the most wholehearted thing in music I've seen in a while.
Especially because that was just Tyler just barely coming out of his like hard kill people, burn shit, fuck school phase. Yeah, that was just an amazing like flip and go like, oh, okay, Tyler, there's emotions there, amazing. But yeah, the beginning of the album I really like. You get into Lumberjack, which I've been bumping pretty hard ever since we even heard it from a new single.
Great track.
I mean,
to me, that's where after What's Your Name, because the first 4 tracks are like more laid back, fun tracks. Lumberjack just been great track placement right after What's Your Name to put that there because it just gets you into the okay. Here's the deep, really consolidated Tyler that we all know and love.
Yeah, he's like the full-on talented shit. Yeah, he's really good. Lumberjack is one of those songs you make in a rap career where you're at the point where you're just boasting. Like you're just like at the top of your game. You just like know what you're doing. You actually have like hype people kind of behind your song. Kendrick Lamar got to this during To Pimp a Butterfly, making King Kunta. It was like that kind of track for him. Just sort of like boasting about being really great about it, which is interesting because you get a different idea of what the vibe of the album is listening to songs 1 through 5 than you do as you get to like 6, 7, 8, etc.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally different, which I like that because my issue with a lot of rap and trap albums is it can kind of stay at one neutral level the entire time. Very few artists can go up and down and give you that roller coaster of emotions throughout an album, not just lyricisms, but with the production and everything else as well, with all of the musicality of tracks to really set you through completely different moods and really play onto your heartstrings with other tracks and other things to play into your more lighthearted stuff and everything. So it's very difficult to do, especially within a whole rap album. After Lumberjack, you have Hot Wind Blows with Lil Wayne, which I thought is another great track. Lil Wayne's part's actually good too. Wasn't Uncle Rappy from Lil Wayne. I thought it was decent.
It was nothing to like write home about, but like didn't mess up the flow of the what didn't mess up the flow of the album at all, which is all it needed to do.
Exactly. Because Lil Wayne could easily have just like ran some shitty bars to it and then just bring this album to screeching halt, but luckily it didn't happen. He just let it go through it. Massa right after that reminds me a lot of a couple of Doom tracks where it just kind of like you feel like you're walking through New York City randomly with a hood on, just chilling by yourself, and you're just thinking about the world.
Yeah, Brooklyn specifically, like some really sort of like jazzy, laid back kind of like flip kind of thing. Nothing really trappy necessarily, but still very contemporary and modern feeling. It's definitely something that Tyler the Creator's production style, it's refreshing, and Tyler the Creator's production style just like really meets this moment for moving beyond trap music and doing something that's like a little bit of a different flip on the whole thing.
And then here's an interesting track. It's Run It Up with Tizo Touchdown. No fucking clue who that is. But anyways, Run It Up sounds a lot like Man of the Year by Schoolboy Q that came out last year, I think, or a little while back. It's like the flow of it and everything, which is fine because I really like Man of the Year by Schoolboy Q. Like that track, I listen to it a lot. But I thought it was just interesting. It reminded me of the flow of it and everything on it. But I thought it was Run It Up's a good track. But I just thought I could kind of hear a little bit of an influence or little similarities between those two tracks in there. I just thought it was just an interesting comparison. But
yeah, I like Manifesto just because it's the return of Domo Genesis, and Domo Genesis is one of my favorites from the Odd Future Collective in general. And I think it's just like cool to see him like, oh, cool, he's still there and he's still around. He's been doing stuff here and there, but to see him like unite again on a Tyler the Creator album where like he's got a really prominent part is really cool. And the beat's like kind of it feels like a new spin on an Odd Future style song. Like it's a little eerie while the fast pacing's going, and it's a nice sort of like thing to not quite a filler song, but it's something that is a good palate cleanser almost because you get right into Sweet / I Thought You Wanted. Such a long title. Yeah. I Thought You Wanted to Dance. That's right. And that's a song and a half. Literally a song and a half. It's 9 minutes 48 seconds long.
It's the thing. I like it. It was just funny. I was listening to the album like, is this the same fucking song? I look like, holy shit, okay, he just dropped a 10-minute song on us right now. All right. It's a lot in one thing, but I thought it kind of dragged on towards the end a little bit when you get this almost like Latin style beat and everything towards the end where it just kind of dragged on a little bit for it. But the rest of the track I thought was actually pretty good. Good thing with the great placement for the album is after track 10, you have Mama Talk right after, which is a short little interlude thingy, which is perfect because you want to have that kind of thing to then set up Rise, which I thought is a decent track.
Yeah.
This
Rise
is
is
one of the
really
few
fun.
times where, because we have more and more artists and stuff doing this is with interludes and little things to connect songs. And sometimes I feel like they can get out of place and just drag an album out too far and everything. But in the sense of the way, the flow and everything of this album, they need to be put there the way they are.
Yeah. I think
So
the album is really well placed out, definitely. And it has to be just to kind of like work in the format that's currently like trying to do. Um, After that, you get Blessed, which is like another sort of interlude thing. I think definitely the last part of the album seems like a sort of holding pattern in between Sweet and Wilshire until you get to Juggernaut. Juggernaut's really interesting because it's another one of those cases where, God damn it,
Lil Uzi Vert, you
like
got Mr. Lil Uzi and Pharrell Williams, Vampire Pharrell Williams,
like never mind Pharrell
Mr.
Williams, like making hits from whatever.
Mr.
But Lil Uzi Vert,
Yeah,
like sorry, but like Lil Uzi Vert is really good on his features when he doesn't do all the auto-tune nonsense. It's perfectly fine. But then he goes on his album and he's like, yeah, give me all of the electronic fucking around with the beats you can possibly do and like multiply it times 10, right?
give me that random Verizon commercial where the guy's auto-tuned voices all the way pitched up and was making a full album for like 3 hours. That's what he likes to do. But within him as a future, it's always good. Or it tends to be pretty good. So, and part Willishere, another long ass track I thought was good, but it ends up the last track Safari, which is just amazing. I really, really enjoyed this track a lot. I've listened to this a shit ton.
Yeah, Wilshire really fast is like this 8-minute.
It reminds me of Meathead from MF Doom and Bishop Nehru. That was on Bishop Nehru's last album. Like the production, everything reminded me of that song a lot.
Safari, you mean?
Safari, yeah. No, it reminds me of the song Meathead.
Yeah. I totally get you on that. I can definitely. It sounds like something that would be on exactly like you said, a Bishop Nehru Doom thing. Wilshire, like you have to talk about that. Like that is a wild song. It's sort of like Tyler the Creator going through the story of like this
growing up in LA and all that.
I mean, like there's that, but it's like this also love triangle relationship thing with like his friend is like significant other that's like sort of deep or random or whatever. Like it's definitely like a deep story. It's one of those interesting times where you get an artist who's telling a full on sort of tale within a song and has this multiple layers. I think like it's a really good creative exercise, and of the two sort of like long ass songs coming like long ass love songs becoming like a piece in here, definitely Wilshire is the bigger like success piece in that as opposed to Sweet.
Oh yeah.
It's really just like for an art level of Tyler the Creator, it's really, really good. It just almost borders on that line of like it can almost be too pompous for itself when you're doing like two of these and it's so sort of like unfocused near the end and meandering. But like it as an experience, as an album, I think it works really well. And Safari near the end is just like a great like track, I think. So overall, it's really good. I think on my first couple listens, I was thinking it was at least on par or better than Igor. And I would still say it's one of those. I need a lot more time to figure that out definitively.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while. Igor, I like just for how different it is, and for like, there's a couple songs in there that I really, really enjoy a lot because I was never a big Tyler fan before that album. So this album did make me respect him even more within it because he kind of bridged again, like what I talked about with his single, is that it's starting to bridge the gap between the older Tyler and Igor Tyler, and all of the stuff that he's done throughout his career, kind of make it into what is his own sound, what is his own persona and everything, which is very difficult to do, but he does it in the right way, but still puts a twist on it to make it sound modern, sound fresh, but stay true to himself as an artist. It's a fantastic album overall.
Absolutely. Go listen to it. You probably have. You're watching this video or listening to this podcast at this point. Yeah. But if you haven't, go listen to it. It's really good. Arbitrary scale this week is dead tech CEO who like burn out like John McAfee and like do ridiculous shit. Because that's the fun part of the arbitrary scales, is that they really don't need to make sense. So the wilder the better. And I'm going to give this one the John McAfee of the week because he started out by building antivirus software and then sold his company, started basically living the Dan Blazerian lifestyle and started like renting out yachts.
Actually able to afford the Dan Blazerian lifestyle and not be a fake too. Like actually show up the cash.
Yeah, he's what Mark Cuban wishes he did with his money instead of like hosting game shows for the NBC network.
Yeah.
This is just going all out because you're just at you're at the top of your game. So, hats off to Tyler the Creator.
100%.
You're gonna go with the same one?
Yeah, easily because yeah.
Word.
100%.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. Anyways,